What's up, you slim mother, aka Baby Son, still girl, make one thoughts. Wait, today it's the Mr. Ballin'. Now saying, look, you do person my channel, welcome. Now saying, short, see looking like a little snake, see looking like a little buffet. What up, now saying, do what up, now saying, real, no real, you hear, but let me channel, ditch my channel, you don't, you can leave, you know what I'm saying? And look, I want to do this real quick, cause I like scary stuff, bro. I really do, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is like a true story. This is like a true story, son. Like this really happened in real life, like real life time. This happened, and The dude, he tells real stories. Like he is real stories that people tell him, and he looks the stories up, and he, you know what I'm saying? He got the paperwork too to back that up. What happened? You feel me? So dude be telling real true stories. Like yeah, y'all like watching this? Go below and then go watch his channel. Go watch his subscribers up. You know what I'm saying? And his views up, and you know, yeah. I need y'all to do. Go follow my Twitter, son. Go follow my Twitter. When I hit 100K on YouTube, or do a little Q&A. I just want y'all to slide my DMs and tell me what y'all want to know. You hear me? Look, y'all now saying, second thing I need y'all to do is like the video. Okay, you like the video and watch the whole video. And what YouTube does is the mindset is I like the video and then watch the whole video. They share it to other people, to the timeline, and go to the timelines. All right, they go to the timelines and people see it, and they maybe want to click on my video and watch my videos. And the people are subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it. That's supporting me. I really do appreciate supporting me, liking my videos and watching my whole videos. I appreciate it. And step out talking. It's the video. Yeah.
Indiana that has been dubbed the Demon House. Now, if you were to walk past this house on the street, it wouldn't stand out to you. It's very modest, single story, 3-bedroom home. Looks like all the other houses around it. But the history behind this house is totally bizarre. LaToya
I appreciate you telling me the place like that, bro. I appreciate it, cause I never in my life put my foot through that door. Use the house you talking about. Never.
Who is a mother of 3 that lived inside of this house with her 3 kids, she began to report to the police that demons were throwing her children against the wall. Now,
my sister, you black. You black, my sister. You supposed to get out that place. You supposed to get out that place. You hear me? Like you stayed inside that place. You tripping.
When police got the report that children are being thrown against the wall, their first thought is, you're an unfit parent. And so they sent Child Protective Services and the police to go check out this residence and make sure that she really was a competent parent. They are shocked at what they find. And what they find is documented in a police report. And courtesy of the executive producer of 317 Films, Christopher Geizot, I have a copy of said police report.
That's what I'm talking about. He has everything, bro. Like, he got police reports. Like, he got everything to back it up. That's the reason I tell you it's a real, true story when he be speaking, when he be telling, because he got the facts to back it up. You hear me?
And when I read through this thing for the first time, I literally wrote him an email and said, this is fake. There's no way this is an actual police report. And he said, no, that's real. It's from the Lake County Sheriff's Department. It is the official police report, and it's mind-blowing. Today, I'm gonna tell the story of what happened when the police got involved, and I'm just going to use information that was in the police report.
Look, my father's stopping it, but I was gonna skip that whole part, but I want y'all to get to know the video while what we watching, okay? That's why I looked at it. This part.
But before we get into today's crazy story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel, because that's all I do, and I upload 3 to 4, even 5 times every week. And so if you're interested in that, I would encourage you to gently take the like button out for a nice seafood dinner and never call it again.
What's seafood doing? What's why you could have said something else than saying that for?
So weird. And also sub to my channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly.
I was gonna be saying that, but a lot of YouTubers say that. But yeah, like if you do turn on, not turn on, but turn it on, please. Like the bell, turn it on, cause YouTube, what it does, sometimes it don't show people somebody post a video or somebody go live. I don't.
All right, let's get into the story.
Sometimes it does that.
After numerous reports that LaToya Ammons was mistreating her children, based on reports that she gave, she was telling police that demons were throwing her kids around the house. Based on those reports, Child Protective Services was sent to do a home study, to go to their house, go to LaToya Ammons' house, and make sure it was a safe, clean place for children to be living. In addition to the case manager, her name was Valerie Washington, who was going to be going over to do this home study, the Lake County Sheriff Department also sent over...
If somebody told me in a report, why did I say it like that? Report. Why the fuck did I say it like that? But look, listen, if somebody said a report to me it's demons in the house, that woman gotta be crazy, or that woman is telling the truth. I'm not going there. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't have my gun, and I'm gonna have my water gun, you know what I'm saying, with some holy water. You know what I'm saying? I got to. You hear me? Because no.
Lieutenant Gruszka, who would be assisting Valerie and watching the home study take place. When Gruszka arrives at the house, he is met with Valerie Washington, also LaToya Ammons, the mother, and her two sons, Andrew, who's 9, and Amante, who's 7, as well as LaToya's mother, so the boy's grandmother. Her name was Rosa. Washington, the case manager, pulls Gruszka aside out of earshot of LaToya and her family, and she starts telling Gruszka about what happened at the hospital 8 days earlier, because she, the case manager, had already begun investigating LaToya Ammons and that whole situation with her kids. 8 days earlier, Washington was at the hospital, sitting in a waiting room. Washington was with a psychologist, and they were speaking to Rosa, who was the grandmother of these children.
Yeah, they really do that. They pull the kids. You know what I mean. You know, so when people put them people in your, you know what I'm saying, your life, you know. You know, if you don't know, you know. You feel me? If you don't know, you just don't know. But, you know what I'm saying? You know. You feel me? That don't make no sense.
In the room was also Andrew, the oldest son, and Amante, the youngest son. And as they're chatting, Amante, the youngest son, stands up and walks to the middle of the waiting room. And his eyes roll back into his skull, and he begins emitting this growling sound that sounded too deep for a boy of 7 years old.
I'm leaving. Forget that kid. That's messed up. Y'all know yourselves messed up. I can get a new kid. That's a demon. They got a demon inside that little boy. No. If the man stayed in the middle of the hallway, his eyes rolled back in his head, and a deep voice come out his body, nah, that can't be me. What the pastor at, son? What's the pastor at? He the pastor with some holy water thrown on him, bro. He need Jesus. The devil's a demon. If his eyes will roll high his back and the dude's only 7 years old, who gonna be there? Who gonna be over there try to help him? I'm sorry, son. Look. I'm sorry, anything demonic, I'm looking at the distance. I'm just looking at the distance. I'm not helping, man.
Mother reacted to it like she had seen it before. She got right up, she marched over to him, and she took him by the hands, and she yelled, "You are not you." And she kept saying that, and the boy's eyes are still back in his head, and he's not responding to anything his grandmother's saying. As Rosa is repeating over and over again, "You are not you," Amante begins backpedaling towards the wall behind him. And Rosa holds his hands the whole time. She's holding his hands firmly. He gets to the wall, and instead of stopping, he puts his foot up against the wall. This is a 7-year-old boy, and begins walking up the wall.
Bro, y'all can believe it or not. I seen that before. Like, I was younger, bro. If it's a church bar, the devil's about. It's around. The devil's around. If you have a church bar, y'all can believe it or not. When you have a church around, the devil's around. He lurking. The devil can dress like a human being. Like, listen, he can change his form to a human being. He can be you, he can be me, he can be you. He can change any form he want to be, and he can walk in the church like it's nothing. He does that. You know what I'm saying? The devil comes. He always gonna come with a pitchfork. He always gonna come with damn horns. He comes to everything you want. All right. Let's say I had a business. I was a business person. He'll dress with somebody. You say he dressed like one of my homeboys, he'd be around me and try to mess my head up with stuff I'm doing. You feel me? So that's how the devil is. He comes with trickery. His voice is peaceful. Like, he talks. He can talk you out of stuff you do in your life. He can do that. And people just think he comes with his form every time. He don't show his form every time, bro. He don't. So y'all can believe what you want. But I seen that before when people get possessed. Like, that is scary, bro. Like, you look at your own eyes, that is scary, bro. That's scary there, bro. In the church, and somebody got a deep voice come, nah.
Pressing against Rosa.
I can believe it not, but
she's holding on tight, and he's pressing back at her and using that weight to walk backwards up the wall. The psychologist in Washington are just watching in disbelief. Rosa's holding on to him as he walks all the way up to where he's on his tippy toes on the wall. And then he flips forward in front of her and lands on his feet on the other side of Rosa. The psychologist and Washington literally run out of...
I would too. I won't come back. I will never come. I will quit that job. I'm not lying. I will quit that job, bro. Y'all ever call me to go over there and see some kids? Nah. Acting like that? Nah. I'll quit. I'd have quit that day, bro. I'm sorry. I'd have quit. I will not come back. Don't ask me to come back because I'm not coming back, bro. Like, no.
And they go get a doctor and they explain what happened. The doctor comes in, not having any clue what to make of this, and just says to the boy, "Can you do that again?" And Amante at this point, his eyes are back to normal and he's sitting now next to Rosa. And he says, "What? I didn't do anything," and acted like he had not been walking up the walls. Now, it's not in the report how Lieutenant Gruszka responds to Washington's story about the hospital. However, the entire police report that I'm pulling all this information from is written by Lieutenant Gruszka at the end of the investigation. So this exchange between he and the case manager, Washington, about the hospital visit that he was not part of, it apparently carried weight in the entire investigation that he felt compelled to add it into the report. Even though on paper, you would think if you're doing a home study for this house, why would you incorporate something that didn't have anything to do with the house? It gives you maybe an insight into Lieutenant Gruszka, although his language remains super professional and very pragmatic, that perhaps Lieutenant Gruszka at the end of this investigation was starting to think this might be paranormal.
Bro, like, I heard of it. My mom told me, like, how little somebody's possessed. I never seen it. I was a baby. I never understand it. But this woman, she used to do voodoo. Like, she used to do voodoo. I'm gonna tell you who it was, but she used to do voodoo. And the devil is like, the devil will beat the shit out of you. Like, and you will asleep, he will beat the goof out of you. Like, he will beat you to death. You ever running, got scratches on you, on your body, and you run up every day, your body hurting. The devil be beating you in your sleep. He really be beating you in your sleep, son. Like, and she said she was possessed. Like, she was really possessed. And my uncle, who's a great uncle, he living God too. He's powerful, living God. He ain't scared of nothing. Like my great grandma, he ain't scared of nothing. My uncle, he ain't scared of nothing. Ain't living God. They really believe in God. Like, they ain't scared of nothing, bro. Nothing in this earth they ain't scared of, bro. And they prayed for this one woman. And she said, my mom told me, she said she felt like something's in her trying to get out. Like, her stomach was just twisting back and forth, like twisting. And you feel like something's coming out of her. And when she did get prayed, and they did get that thing out of her, the demon out of her, she act like she didn't do nothing wrong, bro. They said she was walking backwards. Her eyes was twisting out of her head. She was on the... No! It can't be me, bro. I don't do my demonic stuff, but I don't do demonic stuff, bro. If you do voodoo, you do Ouija boards, you do anything, it's evil, bro. Stay away from me, bro. If you think... Listen. If you wishing money around me, like you wish money around me, like you want someone's money and you think money and clothes, everything is everything, stayed away from me, bro. I don't like people like that, bro. I think money and clothes, everything's... No, it's not, bro. It's not everything, bro. I hate people worshiping money, bro. I don't like that, bro. That's...
After this story, 2 more police officers show up to the house to assist with this home study. One was Brian Miller and the other was Charles Austin. At this point, the 3 officers, Gruszka, Miller, and Austin, along with the case manager, Washington, begin walking towards the family and towards the front door of the house. Latoya says that she and her kids will not go back in the house because they had moved out very recently. because of the strangeness that they claim was happening inside of the house.
Smart.
They felt like they were under attack by demons. And so the police, they needed someone to bring them in. And so Rosa, the grandmother, LaToya's mother, she offered to go in with them. So the house is a single-story, 3-bedroom house.
Oh, bro, that looks spooky. Look at the house, bro. It looks spooky, son. It can't be me. I want to live there, son. I really want to live there, son. No.
Walk in and you're inside of the screened-in porch. You go into the main level. There's a few bedrooms, and then there's a stairwell that leads down into the basement. And so they go in, and Lieutenant Gruszka is in charge of taking pictures and recording audio the whole time they're in the house. They were not aware that they had already moved out. So it's a bit of an awkward home study because they're not even living there anymore.
I moved too.
But either way, they're going to do their job. They're walking around, taking pictures of each of the bedrooms. There's 3 bedrooms. There's a kitchen, basic stuff upstairs. And then they go downstairs to the basement. Now, the basement was where LaToya and her family claimed the majority of the paranormal activity was taking place. The steps leading down to the basement were wood. They went down into the basement. The basement floor was concrete and the walls were concrete blocks. As they go down, Lieutenant Gruszka would notice that there were candles that had been placed all over.
I told you, bro, when you do voodoo, you play with the Ouija board, even minor stuff come out. Okay? It does. Like, you know, God got angels, he got... The devil got, he got things for you too, right? You know they got names of them, right? You play the Ouija board. I'm not saying it right. I ain't saying it. I may spit it out right there. But he got little people he comes out and play too, so.
The basement floor that had burned down to their wick. There was also an altar and a nativity scene that had been placed near the underside of the stairs. And so when Gruszka goes over to take pictures of the altar and the nativity scene, he recognizes that under the stairs, near where those two things are placed, it's all dirt. The concrete that made up the floor of the basement had been broken away, and there was jagged pieces of concrete where there should have been a continuous flow of concrete underneath the steps. It had been snapped up and broken away. It was gone. When Rosa was questioned about the strangeness of the basement with all the candles and the altar, she just said that there's a presence down here, and that's all she was able to articulate. The other officers and the case manager and Rosa, they go back upstairs, and Lieutenant Gruszka and Charles Austin, the other officer, they stay in the basement and take a few extra...
Who the hell was doing voodoo, bro? I know y'all was like, why you looking like that, bro? If you ever seen it in real life, bro, you ever seen that shit? That shit was scarred the shit out of you, bro. Like, a lot of people is not gonna believe what the fuck I'm saying. A lot of people are gonna believe what I'm saying. But if you ever seen it in your own eyes, in your own, like, 'cause a lot of people, it's like, boom. A lot of people see God walk on water, but they ain't believe it. They ain't believe it. They ain't believe God walk on water. It's like people see stuff, and you see in your own eyes, and they still won't believe it. Like, bro.
Pictures, a couple more underneath the stairs, and just of the candles before they ultimately go upstairs as well. When Gruszka comes upstairs, Rosa's waiting for him, and she's about to turn the light off leading down into the basement. And she asks him, did you get any pictures underneath the stairs? And he said, yeah, I did. I stayed down there and I took some more pictures. She looks at him and she says, sometimes at night when we're sleeping on the main floor, we'll hear commotion in the basement. It sounds like maybe someone bumping on the underside of the stairs. And then you hear footsteps walking up the wood steps. And whatever it is stops on the other side of the door leading into the main floor, and it will stay there for hours. We're too scared to open the door to look. Gruszka goes back to his office and he immediately uploads the pictures that he took with a focus on the ones he took in the basement. And he finds that there is a couple pictures he took under the stairs, that in the right-hand corner of the picture, just behind one of the steps, it's partially obscured, is a white mist or a white cloud.
Nope. See, this is what I'm talking about. I cannot be a person, go to abandoned houses. The abandoned, you know, the hunts, I can't do it, bro. Because you got to edit the videos. And some stuff you miss. And you see some stuff, you do see some stuff. You really do see some paranormal stuff. I know, I can't. And some of that stuff follow you, bro. They will follow you to house to house to house to house. If you don't get yourself prayed, get your house prayed, or you get yourself saved, will keep following you, bro.
He zooms in on it and he brings in other officers and they look at it, and if you zoom in close enough, it looks like a man's face. As they're zoomed in on this mist underneath the stairs, they can see, only because they've zoomed in, that there appears to be a faint green mist on the left side of the picture. Appears to be a woman's face. Gruszka and Austin, who were the only two in the basement at the time of these pictures taken, swear they did not see a white or green mist under the stairs when they took pictures. Gruszka, again, it doesn't say in the report how he's feeling, but you can imagine he's starting to feel a little bit uneasy about what he's witnessing. Gruszka just goes to his audio recording. And so he fast forwards to the section where he and Austin are alone in the basement taking these additional photos.
I'll quit, bro. I'm not playing. I think I'm playing. I will quit, bro. You'll never see me in there, bro. I will quit. I'll quit the next date, bro. Don't ever ask me to go in there again, bro. I'm taking a vacation. No.
Clearly here on the recording, Gruszka and Austin talking to each other as they're taking these pictures. And at some point, as they're taking these pictures of the basement, a third voice, not Austin, not Gruszka, say directly into the audio recorder, "Hey." The audio recorder was one that Gruszka was used to using, and it had never malfunctioned before. And he and Austin were the only ones down there. And so they couldn't explain where the third voice was coming from, and neither could any of the other officers who listened to it. On April 30th, Gruszka set up a meeting with Latoya Ammons' priest, who she was very close with. They were regular churchgoers. This priest, his name was Father Maginot.
Jesus.
He had been at the Ammons residence 5 days before this home visit was done, when Latoya Ammons and her family was still living in that residence. And so Gruszka went to interview him to get a sense of what it was like when they were still living there. Father Maginot said he was there because Latoya had reached out and said, "I don't know."
Okay, she did bring a pastor. She did bring a pastor to pray for that place. Okay. I thought she didn't, bro. I thought she just sit there, bro, because she did get somebody to pray for it.
Because she's claiming there are demons here. And while they're sitting in the living room on the main floor, Father Maginot is telling Gruszka that the bathroom light started flickering on and off. And so it was distracting enough that ultimately Father Maginot got up and walked over to the bathroom, and as soon as he went inside, the flickering stopped. And then he'd go back down and sit down, and it would start again. Repeatedly, Father Maginot would get up when it was flickering, he would go in and it would stop, he'd come back and it would start flickering again. So while this is happening and Father Maginot is going back and forth to the bathroom trying to figure out why the light is flickering, Latoya points out that a liquid is forming on one of the window blinds in the room that they were all sitting in. There was this oily liquid substance that was just kind of trickling down the window blinds.
Sober.
And Father Maginot walks over and looks at it. They're all looking at it.
That's sober. That place was. Yeah, that was an evil house. That was something in there so damn evil, bro. I mean, evil. It was evil with this shit, bro.
No leak in the ceiling. There's no
that place was
source for this
bad.
liquid, and it hadn't been there before.
Why
At
do you
least
have houses
that's what
Why
Latoya
is it
Ammons
knocking
and her
down,
family
bro?
is saying. That's not from us. We don't know what that is. As they're looking at this oily substance on the blinds, the cord that controls the blind itself starts swaying back and forth. And everyone's startled as they're looking at it because there's no draft in the room. The window's not open. There's no reason it should be swaying. While they're looking at this cord, Father Maginot looks down and sees this huge footprint in the carpet near where they're standing that was too big to be his, and nobody else in the house had a footprint that was that big. At this point, Father Maginot doesn't think it's safe for the family to be there and advises her to leave. And this would actually be the episode that prompts Latoya Ammons and her family to leave the house and not come back. On May 10th, Lieutenant Gruszka, a new Child Protective Services case manager.
The other one quit. Yeah, the other one quit. So he's like, nah, I ain't going back. You smart, playboy. Oh, shorty, you smart too. If you're a shorty, if you're a dude, you say you smart. Cause I won't come back. I won't. They ain't my kids.
And a host of police officers go back to the Ammons residence. The Ammons residence has been unoccupied with all utilities shut off, locked and sealed since the last time they were there, which was on April 27th. So it's a 2-week period that no one has been in the house. But there was a customary follow-up to this house. They had to as part of the home study. When Lieutenant Gruszka arrives at the property, outside is Father Maginot, as well as Latoya Ammons, her mother, Rosa, Latoya's two sons, Andrew and Amante, as well as a host of police officers. There's a canine unit.
The thing, I don't know how you do this, bro. I literally don't know how you do this. How do you sit here and search this stuff up, get the reports, search this up, and make a video of this and tell the story? How do you do this? I can't do it, bro. That would be giving me chills and freaking me out, bro. Bro.
Although it's not said explicitly in the report, it would appear that the reason there's all this additional police presence in a canine unit is because there's enough weirdness being reported about the house. There could be, a home invasion situation happening, that somebody else is living in this house. Any number of things could be happening, but they can't write off all of the strange testimony about what's happening in the house. And so before they go in for this second home study, they have one of the dogs from the canine unit go into the property and search the property for intruders, just in case this was a home invasion.
Like dogs and cats, they see stuff we can't see. Like, when he was a baby, he used to see stuff like paranormal. I never had a imaginary friend. I never had that, bro. I never had that. But I know some people did have imaginary friends. It's like when I was little, my mom, she was asleep. This is how I used to live at K Ross. I used to live in K Ross, and I was a baby. I was still a baby. I was in my crib, and it's a true story. You have to believe it or not. My mom had a dream. I was right there with a demon. Like, I was talking to a demon. Like, I was playing with a demon. And she had a dream of that. When she woke up and she ran to my crib, like the crib's the next room, and she looked at, I was asleep. I was still sleeping, and I ain't got the crib. So she picked me up and she put me in the room with her. And she told me that when I got older, she told me that. That shit's scary, son. That's scary. That really is, bro. I was a baby, bro.
Or something like that. They wanted to just check the box. So they send the dog in. The dog comes out, hasn't found anything unusual. And so the police, along with Father Maginot, the case manager, and Rosa, they go back into the house. The main level looked untouched. There was nothing strange happening in the main level when they walked around. Nothing was disturbed. It looked like no one had been here in 2 weeks. So they open the door to the basement, they turn on the light, and a couple weird things happen right away. One, they noticed that on the wooden steps leading into the basement, there is an oily substance with no clear origin that goes all the way down the steps, snakes around the side, and disappears underneath the stairs. As they begin walking down the stairs, the case manager from Child Protective Services happens to touch a cabinet that had been built into the walls along the stairwell leading down into the basement. And immediately she pulls her hand back. She grabs her pinky and she reacts like something had hurt her. And they ask, hey, what's going on?
Why would I go down there? Like, why? Like, why? Like, I just want to know why. Like, why would you go down there, bro? They told you everything was going on, bro. Why?
And she's like, I don't know. I just touched the cabinet and my hand now hurts. My pinky hurts. It's tingling. And it apparently had turned white. We don't have any images to show that, but her pinky basically had been wounded just from touching this cabinet. And so the officers go down into the basement. They follow this oily trail that goes back under the stairs. And they're thinking to themselves, all the utilities have been turned off. There's no reason there should be any water down here. Not to mention there's no origin for this oily substance. And no one's been in the house for the past 2 weeks. So we can't even account for this by saying that one of the family members might have spilled something. And so even though it's not written into the report that they were scared or that they were
I know they were scared. I would be scared. The other one left. The other one said, I ain't coming back. I would left. I would be scared too, but I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I know you ain't gonna be here and lie at you, bro. I would knock that place down, son. I would knock it down and put all dirt around it and get out of there, son.
This could be beyond rational explanation. It's clear from what happens next that everybody there was ready to explore the idea that something was happening underneath the steps, because now the family's claimed there's been something crawling out of there and walking up the stairs at night. You have this strange oily substance coming from the underside of the stairs. You have the white and the green apparition inside of the pictures. Father Maginot suggested that if there was some sort of demonic possession happening in the house, that there's a good chance they would find things underneath the steps that were tied to the family. And so they decide they're going to dig up the dirt underneath the steps. And so Gruszka begins digging into this dirt patch under the steps. And he makes it about 2 feet down. And he finds a press-on pink fingernail. He also finds women's underwear. And as he...
So... they was killing people? They were killing women? They was killing women and put women's... I don't know.
He keeps digging. He finds a political pin, like for your t-shirt. He also finds the lid to one of the cooking pots from upstairs. He continues to dig and he finds some trash and miscellaneous papers. And it dawns on the group that someone or something is leaving the basement, going into the main section of the house, taking things from the family, going back downstairs, going underneath the steps, and burying them. And probably has been for some time. And so at some point they stopped being able to dig any farther. The soil was too hard, so they put the soil back and decide to leave the house. As they're leaving the house, Rosa is the last one to leave, and she actually says, hey, come over here. And she's standing in that screened-in porch, and she's looking up at the window blinds. On the window blinds in the house is that same, or it appeared to be the same, oily substance trickling down the blinds that matched the description of what Father Maginot had said he had seen when he was visiting the family before and saw liquid coming down the blinds. And so the officers reacted to this by saying, Rosa, did you do this? Are you responsible for putting this liquid on the blinds? And she said no. There was no clear source.
Bro, I don't know. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, bro. No, ever. I'm telling you, if I was a policeman and I was wherever and I heard they said that, they told me that, and that happened, I won't be there.
This liquid, there was no leak, there was nothing.
I'm gone.
And so Lieutenant Gruszka wipes the liquid off of the blinds.
I'm telling you, my homeboys, my girlfriend, anything goes on like this, I'm gone, son. Don't ask me, because I'm leaving. I will go sleep in the hotel, son. I will go sleep in the hotel, son. I don't care. Like, I will pay for a hotel and keep sleeping at a hotel. I'm not going back. They can keep everything in the house. Everything in the house. I ain't coming back.
Everyone to leave the house. For 25 minutes, they waited. And then they went back inside to see if there was going to be liquid there, and there was. And Father Maginot would say that after that first time he was there and he saw the liquid dripping down, he did some research. And it's very common over the history of time that if there's any sort of demonic possession in a house, that liquids will ooze from different areas in the house. And it's this oily substance that matches the description of what they just saw. At this point, Lieutenant Gruszka and the police tell everyone to vacate the premise. They lock it up and they leave. And that is the end of the police report. Although not included in this police report, where I pulled all of the story from, Charles Austin, who was the other officer who was in the basement with Lieutenant Gruszka when they were taking pictures underneath the steps and they heard that voice on the recorder. Well, Charles Austin actually worked for another police department, the Hammond Police Department, and he took some pictures of the outside of this house during the time that no...
So none of y'all gonna knock that down, so y'all not gonna knock that place down. Y'all not gonna knock it down. Y'all not gonna knock it down. You know what I'm saying? And get some dirt and dig it, that basement up and let it flat there and just leave. So nobody's gonna knock. Okay,
staying at the house. And one of the official police pictures shows a shadowy figure standing in the screened-in porch of this house right near where that liquid was dripping down the blinds. In 2014, Zach Bagans, who's a popular paranormal investigator, he hosts the show Ghost Adventures. He purchased the Demon House and filmed a documentary that he called The Demon House. And you can check that out for yourself. And he demolished the house in 2016. So
thank you. So I'm happy. At least somebody not. He made money off it. But at least he knocked it down. I'm so happy he knocked that place down, because no family needs to be living there. And nobody needs to be living there. And okay. But look, I hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, put thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, put thumbs down, comment below. And always stay blessed till next video. Yeah.